Think about how life-changing it can be for one person to come out here shortly after they maybe finish their undergraduate education and work with some of the top scholars in the world working on issues like global security, climate, democracy.
We can see that folks from my generation and even the folks coming after me just have a different view on the world and what it should look like.
The next generation has an enormous set of challenges.
We need fresh ideas that come from a mixture of different geographies, cultures, fields of studies, and background.
Half the world's population is under 30. That on that grounds alone, we need to have the voices of young people at the table.
From the early days as an intern in Carnegie's Beijing office to becoming a cyber research assistant at the headquarters in Washington, D.C., Carnegie has equipped me with an intellectually rigorous and interdisciplinary framework to approach and analyze complex global and domestic issues.
I think I'd have no career, but for my time at Carnegie, I went as an intern, they're now called junior fellows, and got to work on some of the most pressing foreign policy issues of the day. The president of the Carnegie Endowment, for whom I was working, was consumed with the war in Bosnia, and he gave me all this responsibility to edit his op-eds, to staff coffees with heads of state. And I just got this exposure and a sense of the dynamism of the foreign policy world. So it inspired me to want to make a difference and find some way to make a contribution. But I also just got so educated by all of the people and personages who were passing through Carnegie. It was incredible.
My time at Carnegie, I think what I was fortunate enough to have was a real model for analytic mentorship. I was fortunate enough to be in a program, the nuclear policy program, at a time under the leadership of James Acton and Toby Dalton and George Perkovich. And those three gentlemen really value deep, rigorous, analytical study.
We need fresh ideas that come from a mixture of different geographies, cultures, fields of studies, and backgrounds. We need young people who grew up on social media and who come from various socioeconomic backgrounds to fully understand and devise equitable and sustainable policy outcomes to combat post-truth narratives, predatory artificial intelligence, environmental racism, and other challenges as we transition to a new digital reality.
So we have an internship program to pull in people from different backgrounds to work with Carnegie scholars. We have a junior fellows program for people who are recently graduated from college who come and work on interesting research projects and policy projects for a year at a time. We have a young ambassadors program in Beijing that helps people connect across borders. We are deeply committed to the need to diversify the workforce on international affairs, to bring people from different backgrounds and reflect the vibrant diversity of this country and the world.
Carnegie has focused on the next generation from its inception. It really is an educational institution focused on providing the best kind of advice and answers for the next generation.
I think in general, our mission depends on being able to take a long-term, big-picture perspective. We have scholars that work every day to have an impact on what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, what's happening on European security, increasingly stuff involving technology and climate. But to be honest, these issues are going to be with us for a long time. We're not going to solve it all overnight. So we depend on the work we do now, continued by the generation that we are training, so they can get the torch passed to them and continue running in the direction that we've set.